Madhu Devar Shetty, surgical oncologist and robotic surgeon, KIMS Hospital, Secunderabad. Today, we are going to discuss about the incidence of colorectal cancers, their management, how to evaluate and prognosis of these cancers in male and female patients. Most of the times, this colorectal cancers incidence has gone up in India. It's not like 5 years back the incidence rates gone up because of the food habits, professional hazards, incidence of diabetes, and the hereditary incidence. Factors like previous surgeries also resulted in increase in the incidence of colorectal cancers. Why these colorectal cancers are clubbed? Because colonic cancers and rectal cancers behave in the same way most of the times. That's why we just manage colorectal cancers in the same way whether we go for surgery or any other kind of treatment. Most of the times these colorectal cancers happen around in the age of 50 to 60 years. But in the case of familial colorectal cancers, the age of incidence it will be around 30s. And the incidence is equal in males and females. And these colorectal cancers can be divided into right-sided cancers and left-sided cancers. The cancers which happen in the right colon behave in one way, and the cancers in the left colon behave in the other way. Right colonic cancers most of the times present with bleeding, weight loss, loss of appetite, like this. Whereas left colonic cancers they present with altered bowel habit, abdominal distension, and sometimes spurious diarrhea. Spurious diarrhea means the patient will not be having actual diarrhea, will be passing the stool many times, small quantities only, but he thinks it's diarrhea. That is called spurious diarrhea. So most of the times the presentation of left side colonic and rectal cancers and the right side colonic cancers is different. So when the patient presents to you, they present with these kind of symptoms which I already mentioned by dividing the colonic and rectal cancers into two parts. So any history of bleeding per rectum, altered bowel habit, spurious diarrhea, loss of weight, loss of appetite, malnourished appearance, all these lead to the suspicion of colorectal cancers. When a consulting physician or consulting surgeon has a query that colorectal cancers is a possibility in that patient, then he is going to evaluate with initial colonoscopy. Gastroenterologist will do the colonoscopy, and in this colonoscopy some lesion is found in the right side colon or in the left side colon or in the rectum. The concerned gastroenterologist will take a biopsy and it will be reported. Suppose if this biopsy turns out to be malignancy, like an adenocarcinoma, whether it can be whatever may be the grade, the next evaluation will be the imaging. The patient has to undergo either a contrast CT scan or whole body PET CT. But most of the times for colorectal cancers, the contrast CT is enough. We may not be going for the PET scan in the case of colorectal cancers. But for a rectal cancer, MRI pelvis is indicated. This whole body PET CT is only indicated in the case of metastatic colorectal cancers. If you have suspicion of any metastatic colorectal cancers, I may go for whole body PET CT. Otherwise, for colonic cancers, CT scan is enough, and for the rectal cancer, MRI scan is enough. So when it is being evaluated and the disease is considered operable, like a treatable disease, we may have to go for a surgical option. Whenever the disease is operable, we consider the surgical option, and the surgical option can be dealt in 3 approaches. One is the open approach, the other one is laparoscopy, and the third one is the robotic approach. Whereas the open approach, we open the abdomen with a bigger incision in the midline. In the case of laparoscopy and robotics, we approach these organs through a keyhole approach. Now the difference between the laparoscopy and robotics for colorectal cancer. Both of them are almost equally good. What can I say for robotics is additional advantage is the dexterity of the instruments. In the case of rectal cancers, in the case of obese patient, the conversion rate has gone down, the bleeding is less compared to laparoscopy in the case of robotics. The magnification is more, and the precision of the instruments and the precision of the surgery the surgeon operates, it will be better with robotics in the case of rectal cancers, especially in the case of distal rectal cancers, where we do low anti-resection or ultra-low anti-resection or intersphincteric resection. These are all the procedures that are being described for rectal cancer that is very low. Whereas for other cancers like right colon cancers, left colon cancers, and upper rectal cancers, laparoscopy and robotics, the role is the same. So if we consider surgical option, the surgery should be the optimal surgery, giving a good oncological outcome that includes the resection of the primary disease along with the lymph nodal clearance. So in general, a colorectal cancer will have a good prognosis compared to other cancers. Other gastrointestinal cancers, if we compare with them, these colorectal cancers have good prognosis, and most of the patients will do well after surgery. So when we get the biopsy report, whatever the additional treatment that is being needed, whether it's most of the times for colonic cancers, it will be chemotherapy. For rectal cancers, it will be both radiation and chemotherapy. These treatments have to be completed if the patient has to have a complete result, good result. But in the case of rectal cancers, for locally advanced rectal cancers, we give this chemoradiation treatment prior to the surgery to enhance the results of surgery. So according to the situation, we have to tailor the treatment for all these oncological patients, cancer patients, to have the most best oncological outcomes. And we follow the guidelines that are being followed throughout the world, and our results are extremely good for the colorectal cancers.